Perfectionism is not high standards. It's protection. It's protection from being seen and being judged in a way that we don't want to be judged in. And when it comes to business, becoming visible becomes that much harder for people who are established, who have already proven something in an established field. They know that they will lose something. There's this fear of once I become visible on that extent, once I actually start doing something that is not perfect. And by the way, when you start a business, it's never going to be perfect. You become visible as somebody who's messy, as somebody who's not complete, and definitely not somebody who's cool or put together or who knows exactly what they're doing. In so many ways, there is a factor of embarrassment that comes with this. And this is actually harder for people who are smart, who are able to, perfect things to a great degree, who have worked their entire life to create this image, not even trying to, it just happens. You've gotten the good job, you have a standing, there's a certain image to yourself. There's a way how you show up that doesn't disrupt how people see you. It's a stable state. And in this state, you're safe. Your nervous system is used to people reacting towards you because you've reached a level of competence. Not only what you've really achieved, but there is a status, as in, this is the kind of job I've been doing for 10 years. This is the position I hold. This is how people have learned to talk to me because they know that I'm the person to go to when it comes to this area, when it comes to doing these things. I have built competence in those areas. And even more than that, people have learned to identify me with this image. And of course, no matter how nuanced you look at people, there's always a box you put somebody in. And the moment you become visible when you start your business, you're going to disrupt this. So everything that you've built up so far, this image that allows you to relax a little bit because people respect you, you've already proven you can do something, all of this sort of goes out of the window. Because when you start showing up in your business, it will be imperfect. It will not look cool. It will suck. It will look incomplete and you will be stumbling left and right. That's part of the deal. But when it comes to you starting your business, becoming more visible, you have to retrain your entire identity around this because there's still a level of, I don't actually have to get judged on, me not being perfect because I already can hold on to, this is the title I have. This is, the role I play as in, the good friend, the mother, the reliable worker, whatever it may be. The moment you start to put yourself out there and the moment you start building your business, this doesn't even have to be something that is, being a content creator. It can be whatever you put forward and it's something that people could judge you on. In that moment, you don't fit into that box anymore. It is that much easier for people to put you in a box that is accepted in society, that is something everybody does. And if you're around people who haven't built a business like this, they will have some judgments. They will look at you and they will say, oh, look at that person trying. They will not be able to put you in that category anymore that gave you some kind of security. This is never going to be positive. Yes, there are going to be people who might think, oh, amazing, that person is trying out something new and, good for them. But most people will see their own fears reflected. The kinds of people who supported me, who were on my side, who were really proud of me, those were people who have actually already built a business and they know how hard it is to really switch that identity from I belong in this category on like a level that everybody can recognize to I actually have to redefine it for myself and I have to hold on to it. Because the moment you do something that is not the norm and it's not what the people around you are used to, they will see it as chaos, as something that disrupts the order. And the kind of judgment that comes towards you is not going to be positive. And if you believe it or not, you yourself will feel those judgments because you know that you can't rely on that acceptance that you might have been able to rely on before. But the good news is, once you start this process, you will never fear it again. Because then you'll learn that you yourself can hold on to your identity. You don't need to have that constant feedback of, oh, you belong into this group and that's why you're safe. So let's talk about how you can get to this place, because this is not something you can bypass no matter what you start out with. If you're an artist, if you're somebody who has a business where you create products, if you're a content creator, whatever it may be, the moment you say, I want more from myself, I want to express myself, I want to show what matters to me, what I want to achieve, all of this will bring a lot of emotions with it, will bring a lot of judgment with it. And even if people are not actively voicing it towards you, you will hear those voices within you. So let's talk about how to reframe it so you never have to worry about this ever again. And every single time you get into a new level, you know, okay, I've been able to overcome the first one, so it becomes easier and easier. Before we get into the details and into the how to, remember, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the owner identity template. And if you want to take it to the next level and work with me one-on-one, you can find everything you need in the links in the description as well. You don't have a content problem, you have an exposure problem. So most of us already know enough. It's not that you need one more certificate, one more qualification, one more thing that, you know, at some point will be good enough. There's always a level that you've already achieved that you could be teaching others, that you could inspire others with, you could show up. The thing that's holding most people back is exposure. And particularly if you're somebody who's already achieved success in the norm way of looking at it. So you have already created this soft cushion of how you're looked at in society. It's like you can rely on this identity. So people are not questioning you that much. Stepping into your own business, even if it's just an add-on, will throw so much of all of this out, because then people actually have something that they could criticize you on if they wanted to. Perfectionism is control. So understand the following. Every single time you're able to show up as a very clear defined identity, as somebody who, even if it isn't defined, you have, let's say, this perfect representation, as in you create, for example, this perfect YouTube video, you don't make any mistakes, you're not nervous at all, you look great, you wear the right clothes, you are connected to the right people, whatever it may be. Perfectionism is a form of control. It can help you to become better, but if you rely on perfectionism to show up, you're going to hold yourself back. And this is something that we all have to learn to let go of, because we've all seen people who are perfectionists and who've, you know, excelled amazing results in their life because they're perfectionist. But I promise you, even they fall short to their own expectations. And if we know that perfectionism in its purest form will actually keep us from moving forward, we can then actually, you know, take steps despite of that. Because if you are a real perfectionist, I mean like to the biggest extent, you know what you're going to do? You're not going to do anything. Because in your mind, it will be perfect. In your mind, it will be stable. It is something that cannot be judged. It is not something that can be misinterpreted. It will be this perfect creation of how you want to feel. But when you start showing up, it will be far from that. And the sooner you're okay with being seen as, you know, stumbling, messy, you're doing something that might be a little embarrassing, being willing to lose a status that you've built for yourself, this is what we have to actually confront ourselves with. And it will open all the doors that we felt were closed for us when it comes to experiencing life on a bigger level. Framework removes pressure. So what do we do in these situations? We actually ask ourselves, why am I doing this? What kind of service do I want to bring to people? And frameworks work really, really well here, because when you're willing to show up and it's imperfect, a framework will help us to have something to hold on to. So what is a framework? Well, a framework is something like truth, lesson, invitation, or before, later, now. Because whatever you're offering, there's value in that if you are able to put it into that framework. So for me, for example, when I started my channel, the main thing was I was able to get myself out of a really deep hole mentally. I was able to do this. I made changes in my life. I made changes to how I feel, how I act. I was willing to be seen. So there's a lesson I've learned there. I know exactly how I felt before, how I felt afterwards. That is a truth I know. Yes, maybe what I teach won't help everybody, but I know it's true that it helped me. And now the invitation comes. I learned a lesson, and I want to offer that lesson to you so you can apply this into your life. I'm not forcing you. I'm not saying that's the only lesson, but I know for sure that I know how it was before. I know how it was after. And this is the truth of the change that happened within me. I'm not teaching something that I don't know anything about. That's why so many people fail who try to pretend like, oh, that's how you make $1 million business, but they haven't generated any real money in their business yet, right? Because you don't know that feeling. You don't know what it took. You haven't experienced that. And this goes for everything. So, even for example, if you're an illustrator and you think, well, the way I draw isn't perfect. Well, but you're better than the average person, right? There's something you can offer. So, if there's somebody who, for example, just starts out writing their children's book and they need an illustrator, guess what? You can bring value to that. You know for a fact that you can actually draw better than you drew, let's say, 5 years ago. And you also know that you draw better than most people. So there is something of value here. This is a framework you can hold on to. So instead of comparing yourself to somebody who's done this for 10,000 hours and they're an expert at it and they can offer their services at a much higher capacity, think about the people that you can help. Maybe it's the person who just wrote their first book and they are just looking for somebody to enhance that book because they cannot do this, because they cannot draw, but they can work with you. This is the value you bring. So instead of always thinking about like, oh, I'm not good enough in comparison to some perfectionism standard, think about all the people who would benefit from what you get to offer now in this imperfect state. Because done is better than perfect. And if there's something you can offer that you know will help certain people that aren't at that level yet where they want to be. So for example, the person who wants to publish their book and they know it will get better with your illustrations, then this is a value proposition that you can offer. And even if you're nervous and you think like, oh, it's not good enough, going back to the framework will help you to have something to hold on to. So it's either before, after, now, or it's something like truth, lesson, invitation. This is a truth I learned. I know for sure this works for me. I have proven it to myself. So I've proven, for example, to myself that I can build a business, that I can sustain it. There are a lot of lessons that I have learned while living that out. And now I have an invitation of you to also do the same thing and benefit from what I have learned. Am I Alex Hormozy? Am I like this big entrepreneur who's like Emma Great or whoever? No. But that doesn't mean that what I haven't learned isn't something that can help people. It is maybe something that can help people way more than somebody who's already created millions of dollars because they're much further ahead. The gap is too big. So instead of comparing yourself to people who are much further ahead of you or are in a different direction, always think about the version that you used to be and also the people that you could help with the version of yourself that's willing to show up now imperfectly. So remember, you don't need to learn more. Yes, you can learn on the side, you can always get better, but you already have something to offer. There are always people who would love to be in your position, who would love to have the insights that you have, the experience that you have, the advice you could give, or the creativity, the art, the inspiration, whatever it may be. So be willing to show up imperfectly, knowing that it will suck, knowing that it's not going to be perfect, knowing that it will take you away from the safety of being identified as somebody in this certain box. That's not going to work anymore, right? There's so much more exposure when you actually start building your business because it says, this is what I care about. This is how I want to create value. This is what I think is valuable. I choose this specific thing. This is how I choose to show up. So you're actually exposing more of what matters to you, how you see yourself when you're not going to get the direct feedback of, yeah, I can see you as this and this makes sense and, it feels good. But that shouldn't be a reason to stay hidden. Because at the end of the day, the only way for this feeling to really go away is to actually go right through it, address it, feel it, experience it. And with that, you'll see how much of the weight and the fear will go away. Because you're not going to build your self-confidence on the fact of what people are going to think about you, if they're going to tell you you're great. You're going to build your confidence on the fact that you yourself are holding on to your identity. You decide how you want to see yourself. You teach your nervous system to hold on to that identity, because in the beginning, what you're going to get mirrored back to you isn't going to be how you want to see yourself. And it's on us to teach ourselves to be able to regulate this for ourselves. So think of visibility as exposure therapy. So when you put yourself out there, you experience, oh, I'm still safe. Like, this wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. Or it was scary for the moment and it passed. But if you want to start a business and if you feel like, yeah, but then people are going to judge me and I don't want to be visible like that, remember that fear will stay with you. You're either going to say, I'm not going to start a business, this is not for me. But if in the back of your mind, you've been thinking about doing this over and over again, and one of the main things that's holding you back is this fear of visibility, then trust me, it will get better. You will teach your nervous system, you'll be able to generate more of your own identity independent of what's coming back. And then with time, your environment will start mirroring back to you the identity that you have defined. But this always starts with you being willing to be visible imperfectly. Just a last reminder, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the Own Identity template. It will help you to build that identity consistently. And if you want to take it to the next level, then work with me one-on-one. All the information you need you can find through the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then check out the video you see on the screen right now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.